array is user defined data type. What is an array? Here I am giving. Array is user defined data type. Array is user defined data type which is used to store group of elements, with a single name or same name, we can say. Array is user defined data type which is used to store group of elements with single name. So in C#.NET, arrays are user defined data type. That means what? User only can define array data type, that is integer type or string type or double type or any other type. So that is what we are calling array is user defined data type which is used to store group of elements with single name. Okay, right. So let us consider this is an array. Now you can see this here, the value is 10 and 20 and 30 and 40. So this is array name is here I am giving A. So array name is A, the array elements are 10, 20, 30, 40. So always array index starts with 0. Always array index ends with what? Size minus 1. Actual size is array is 4 and minus 1, that is 3. So array index ends with what? Size minus 1. Array size is 4, 4 minus 1, and that is equal to 3. So 3 is ended with array index. Then always array index starts with what? 0. This we can call it as lower bound of array. Always array index starts with 0. This we can call it as lower bound of array. Always array index ends with size minus 1. This we can call it as upper bound of array. Okay, right. So in C#.NET, arrays are reference type, we can call it as. What is the reference type? Why we are calling arrays in C#.NET or reference type means when we create any array with any name in C#.NET, that array name is treated as an object. This array name is treated as what? Object. This object always represented to array class. Array ARRAY is a array class. Array name, any name if you take, that is A. Okay, then array name A or my array or any type of array if you take, then that is going to be treated as array object. That array object is always represent what? Array class, we can say, right? So in C#.NET, arrays are reference type because of array object. Array name is always treated as array object. Okay, right. So there are different types of arrays in C#.NET. There are different types of arrays. So what are the different types of arrays? Here you can see this. Arrays can be classified in different ways. Then here you can see this according to physical size. Arrays can be of two types. One is single dimensional array and two dimensional or multi-dimensional array according to physical size. Then according to nature of physical size, arrays can be of two types. One is static array, next one is dynamic array, we can call it as. According to nature of physical size, arrays can be of two types. One is static array and dynamic array. Then according to memory size, that means in terms of memory, then arrays can be of two types. One is normal array and next one is huge array. The next according to special type, arrays can be of only one type, that is a jagged array, we can call it as jagged array. Okay, these are the types of arrays, different types of arrays. According to physical size, arrays can be of two types. one is single dimensional array and two dimensional array. According to nature of physical size, arrays can be of two types. One is static array and dynamic array. According to memory size, normal array and huge array. According to special type, jagged array we can call it as. Okay, right. Let's talk about single dimensional array and two dimensional array. So what is single dimensional array? Then single dimensional array means an array which contain only one row or one column is known as single dimensional array we can call it as. That means what? An array which contain only one row or one column. So this is one column, it contain three elements, then or it also called as one row. An array which contain only one row or one column is called what? Single dimensional array we can call it as. Okay. Then two dimensional array means what? An array which contain more than one row or more than one column is known as two dimensional array. Okay. So two dimensional array like this here. An array which contain more than one row or more than one column like this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Here how many rows and how many columns are there? There are 3 rows and 3 columns are there. Okay, that is called two dimensional array. Rows is one dimensional and columns are another dimensional. So that's what here it is two dimensional representation of array. So an array which contain more than one row or more than one column is known as two dimensional array. But you can strictly remember, in two dimensional array rows and columns are fixed. That means while creating two dimensional array, how many rows and how many columns you have created, then that is fixed, we cannot change at running time. Okay, so that is called two dimensional array here, right? So according to nature of physical size, static and dynamic. Static array means an array whose size is fixed. An array whose size is fixed, we cannot change array size at runtime. That is fixed. How much size we have given while creating an array, that size is called fixed. That type of array is called static array. And dynamic array means an array whose size is not fixed. Even though we have created with particular size of array, then that size can be able to change at running time. So how do we change at running time? That dynamic array means like using what method? Resize method. So resize method is there to change the array size at running time. Once if we apply resize method on any array, that will become called as dynamic array. Why? Because dynamically we are changing the array size. For example, if we create an array with 4 element size, then that can be maybe reduce the size or increase the size at running time. That is possible with what method? Resize method. The resize method is associated with array class. Okay, right. So this is called dynamic array. Whose size is not fixed, we can change array size at running time using resize method is called dynamic array. Whose size is fixed, we cannot change at all at running time size, that is called static array. Okay, right. In terms of memory here, according to memory size, the arrays can be of two categories. Again, normal array and huge array. So what is normal array here? So normal array means that any type of array which will be created by programmer, that array is going to be occupied, that means less than or equal to 64 KB memory. If that array is occupied the memory, then less than or equal to 64 KB memory, that type of arrays are called normal array. If that arrays are going to be occupied then greater than 64 KB memory, that arrays are called what? Huge array. Huge means according to size, these arrays are big size. So that type of arrays are called huge array. Then finally, then according to special type, that means special category type, arrays can be of only one type, that is called jagged array. Jagged array means an array which contain one more array within it, or else array of array is called jagged array, we can call it as. What do you mean by jagged array? An array which contain one more array within it, or an array of array is called what? Jagged array, we can call it as. Right. So I will show the difference between jagged array and two-dimensional array here. But jagged array scenario is like this. You can see this. This entire the array is called as one array, and this array is having 3 different rows. In jagged array, number of rows are fixed. Number of rows means how many rows you want to take, you can take. Here I am taking 3 rows, 0, 1, 2. Then inside this one row, I have another array called which is place 3 elements. Here inside second row, I have another array is called 2 elements. Here I am taking inside one more array which is having 4 elements. Okay, right. So there are 4 elements array, here 2 element array, here 3 element array. So that means each row is contain one more rows, one more array within it here. This is one array, this is one array, this is another array. There are 3 different arrays are there, but different elements are there. Okay, that's what I mean to say here. In jagged array, rows are fixed, number of rows are fixed, but columns are not fixed here. So columns are different as per your requirement. Each and every row should have that minimum columns like this 10, 23 or else 20, 30. For example, 2 elements are there, 4 elements are there. How many number of elements, that is up to you here. Then the main difference between jagged array and 2-dimensional array is, in 2-dimensional array, number of rows and number of columns are fixed. We cannot change. When we are going to give that according to syntax wise, for example, 3, 4 means 3 rows, and each and every row should have the 4 elements compulsory. That is called 2-dimensional. But in jagged array, number of rows only fixed. That means we are giving 0, 1, 2. There are 3 rows only. But in each row, how many elements would you like to place? That is up to you here. So here, this is not fixed. Columns are not fixed. In jagged array, rows only fixed, but columns are not fixed. Columns are different columns, 10, 20, 30, 3 columns are there, here 2 columns are there, here 4 columns are there, like the different columns are there in jagged array. Okay, so that is what I am telling here. So this is what jagged array, and which is having only fixed rows and which is not having fixed columns. Columns are different. But this is 2-dimensional array which is having fixed rows and fixed columns. This is called 2-dimensional array. So these many types of arrays, and this is what is an array, what is array elements, how array object, array name is treated as object. Then this is called types of arrays. Okay, let's see practical implementation. But before that practical implementation, then let's give an syntax of single dimensional array. First we'll go for one by one array, that is called single dimensional array. We will see now. Okay, right. So let's give a syntax of single dimensional array. I would like to work with first single dimensional array, then later we will check out one by one arrays with programmatic representation. So single dimensional array, as we talk about that, an array which contain only one row and only one column. This type of array is known as what? Single dimensional array. Now let me give syntax of single dimensional array. Here I am giving syntax. Right. As I told, that array is user defined data type. So user can define any type of data type. So let me take here syntax data type and square bracket. Square bracket is representing an array, and after that here array name equal to new keyword. So what is the use of new keyword, which will be discussed in later session? What is the importance of new keyword? Data type square bracket array name equal to new, again data type of, then size of the array we have to declare here. Okay, size, array size. Then an example you can take here like this. Data type is integer I am declaring. Then instead of integer, any type of data type you can take, because array is user defined data type. Array name is I am taking a, then again new, data type is integer, and array size is 4 I am giving here. Okay, what is the array size I have given? 4. Then after that I would like to initialize the elements into this array. How do we initialize the elements? You know that very well. Array name is a. Always array index always starts with what? 0. A of 0, which element you would like to place, that you can give. Then always again second index is 1, that 20 value I am going to give here. And after that a of 2, then 30 value, then after that a of 3 and 40 value. So this is the way to initialize. A of 0, that means what? 0 array elements are going to be starts with what? 0 and ends with what? Size minus 1. Total number of size is what? 4. 4 minus 1, 3. So there are 4 elements initialized. So you would like to initialize like this, you can do that. Otherwise there is a simple initialization technique while creating an array only. Integer square bracket a equal to new integer, array size is 4 and open delimiter 10, 20, 30, 40 like this. Here only I am initializing the array elements. So which one is the better? Then you can follow like this. Int square bracket a equal to new int of 4, then 10, 20, 30, 40 here. This is only initialization. This will be better always apart from this only. Okay. Now this is the syntax of single dimensional array. Now same thing we will see the programmatic representation, how it will be work. Then what is the loops can be used to display these elements. We'll see practical implementation while writing that programming part. Okay. Right. So here let's add a class called single dimensional array. I'm going to click on project menu, add class. So just meaningful name, let me give that single dimensional array. I'm adding single dimensional array SD array. I'm going to take SD array means single dimensional array. Now you can see this clearly. I'm going to take single dimensional array here, class SD array name, and let me type static void main. And after that let me create a single dimensional array syntax. According to our syntax, int is a data type, square bracket is representing an array, then array name is a equal to new int of and array size 4. Then after that I'll go with this initialization. Second initialization is here only I am giving the elements here. This is very simple syntax to create a single dimensional array. So data type square bracket a, array name equal to new int of, array size is 4, 4 elements have been given. Then after that console.write line, here I am writing some statement here, elements of array are, then how do we display these all elements to the user? Okay, so for displaying these all elements to the user, I am going to take a loop called for loop. And for loop here I always should be integer because I am going to read the elements in index manner. So array elements or index wise it will be stored 0 location 10, 1 location 20, 2 location 30, third location that is 40. So arrays are going to be stored, elements are going to be stored in the index manner. Then when I am going to take for loop, then loop variable is I, its data type is integer type. So I should start with 0, that is 0 index. I will be go to up to 4th index, that is if it is false, until and unless it is false it will be written the values. Then after that I plus plus, each time I should be increment. Okay, then it's very simple for loop, all people you know that. Then console.write statement I am going to write here, console.write, then a is array name of loop variable, all elements will be read loop variable only, then plus some space in between element to element. Then to stay back to our screen you can see this console.read I am writing here. Then let's run the application and check. Later I will come to here and again I will explain that what is the logic part, how we have written. Let's change that startup object first of all, and SD array is there, and click on save it and run it. You will be able to get here 10, 20, 30, 40 elements are very clear. Okay, right. So let's go for here. How do I read the elements here? So when I am going to keep the breakpoint, you can see this, I am going to keeping the breakpoint here in for loop. Why? Because logic part is started with here. When I am going to click on start, I equal to 0, that means 0 index will be start. Then when we press F11 it will go to where? It will be go to condition checking. 0 is less than 4. Is it true or not? Yes, it is true. Then when it is true, control will jumps into A of I. That means A of I means IV started with 0. A of 0 means what value? Then 10 value. A of 0 means what value? 10. A is array name, of 0 is what? 10 value. Then after that it will be go to I plus plus. You can see this, when you go to I plus plus, I will be increment. Why it will be increment? It should be read another elements like 20, 30, 40 also it should be read. Then now I became what? 1. 1 less than 4, again it is true, then it will jumps into a of 1. A of I means what? I is 1. A of 1 means what? 20 value here. Then when I am going to press F11, it will be go to I plus plus. Then now this time I will become what? 2. 2 less than 4, it is true. Then when I am going to press F11, it will become that A of 2. A of 2 means what? 30 value. Then press F11, I plus plus. Now this time I will become 3. 3 less than 4, it is true. Then A of 3 means what will happen? That last element 40 value. But after this you can see this again I is going to become plus plus. So you can see this. Now I became what? 4. 4 less than 4, it is what? False. When it is false, then control will jumps into read. All elements have been read through elements 10, 20, 30, 40. So this all elements have been read using what? So I value. I is a loop variable. That I index it will be starts with 0. When I am going to for loop, then that all loop variable compulsory is integer type, because so when I am going to read the array elements are read in index manner, not value manner. So that's what integer type always here with the respect of array. So now you can see for loop here. But how I am giving here double quotes here? Why I am giving here double quotes? Let me give you this. When I am giving double quote, there is no space element to element. So just for providing space only, have taken concatenation some double quotes. How much space would you like to give element to element? That it will be display here. That is the reason I have taken only double quote. Okay, other than this nothing. So like, let me take an array change. So now this time what array I have taken? Integer type. Just now I told that array is user defined data type. User can define any type of array. Then string type of array I am going to talk here. New string, array size is 4. Array size is 4 and open delimiter. Let me take the string values A and B, C and D. These are the string elements here. Now this time, even though the array type is string element, here I am taking string element, but here you can see this array size is 4. 4 size I have given A, B, C, D, and for loop I am taking. But even though if I am string, that data type is not changing, because with respect of data type of array, always for loop variable data type is what? Integer, because it will be read in index manner. Let's start run the application and I can check A, B, C, D is there. Okay, it's fine clearly. But one more thing here, apart from for loop, we can also able to take one other loop called for each loop. But when we are taking for each loop, what's happening? You can see this for each. But whenever we are going to consider or whenever you are going to display the elements using for each loop, you must and should take whatever the array data type, that for loop, for each loop variable data type also same. For example, you can see the string I is the loop variable in keyword A, then open delimiter, close delimiter, then console.write I elements. That means it will not checking any condition here internally, that A elements are one by one will be read and it will be stored in I variable. Finally we have to display the variable I only, I values only, all values. Now you can see this, that data type of array is string, but loop variable of for each loop I, that data type is also string. So it should be same, then only it will be read the values. Why it should be same? For example, if I am taking integer type, what's happening? So it will not able to convert the values. Why? Because the values are integer type. You can see this cannot convert type string to integer, it is coming. The values are string type, you have given at running time, you are giving that value. Then while running time it should be read one by one. While reading it will be treated as string. So that is what it is not going to be convert string. Here you have given integer, so it's not possible to convert string to integer. Okay, so that is what for each loop, when we are going to take that for each loop will be treated as value at running time, that is value manner it will be read, not in index manner. But when we go for loop, so it will be read index manner. So index is what? Integer type. So that's what always for loop is integer. But when we take for each loop will be not read array elements in index manner, rather than it will read value by value, it will be read. The value is what type? String type. So that's what for each loop variable data type is what? String type. When we go run, then it will be clear. But you can see this now. One time I will change this string array. Then let me go to uncomment this integer. Now what type of array it is there in our program? Integer type. But in for each loop again it shows an error because you have taken integer type. While going to read for each loop, the values are reading by value manner 10, 20, but 10, 20, 30 are integer format, but you have taken string format. It's not required. So integer you should take always. But when I'm taking integer, now you got it here 10, 20, 30. That means what I mean to say, when we go for loop to print the array elements, always loop variable is integer type. Okay, integer type. But when we go for each loop to read the array elements, always loop variable data type must and should be same as array data type. What type of array we have taken, that loop variable data type is should be same here. Okay, so this is the single dimensional array here. Okay, so in later session we will discuss two dimensional array and other arrays also.